20 minutes of word salad, trying to dodge every bit of responsibility for what is happening to us right now in Afghanistan, but all the while telling us the buck stops with him.
In April, I made a decision to end this war. As part of that decision, we set the date of August 31st for American troops to withdraw. Let me be clear. Leaving August the 31st is not due to an arbitrary deadline. It was designed to save American lives.
Well, if you watched the show yesterday, you saw that it's pretty heavy for me. I mean, with the death of 13 U.S. service members in Kabul, it's hard for me. Well, tonight's another tough show because we officially hand over the reins in Afghanistan to the terrorist organization that helped plan and execute 9/11.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
Tell us. That's our president right now. Tell me we're not back where we were 20 years ago with the same terrorists running the same country with the same intentions. The mission was not a success. Not one person who actually fought that war would refer to this as a success. He also made it seem like this is exactly how everything was supposed to go.
This is the way the mission was designed. It was designed to operate under severe stress and attack, and that's what it did.
In what world? I mean, more from Joe.
Thousands of Afghan translators and interpreters and others who supported the United States out as well.
Thousands of Afghan interpreters, kind of like the guy who saved your tail in 2008? That guy? 13 years ago, February 2008, when then Senator Biden was in a helicopter in Afghanistan with fellow Senators John Kerry and Chuck Hagel. Their helicopter was forced down due to a snowstorm. Well, an Afghan interpreter, who goes by the name Muhammad to keep his identity safe, drove hours off-road in the rugged mountains during the storm to help rescue these three senators. Amazing heroics. He was there to save our now president's life. How's Muhammad doing now? Oh, that's right. Joe left him behind in Afghanistan. That is who Joe Biden is. And if you voted for him, shame on you, because he would leave you behind just as fast. And prove me wrong. You don't believe me? You think I'm wrong? Prove it to me. Go ahead. This is the kind of DC garbage you get when electing a 50-plus year politician that only cares about himself. And you know what else? This is what happens when you pull out with no plan. Talking about what's happening in Afghanistan, especially seeing my brothers and sisters coming home in boxes, this is tough for me, guys. And if you're a veteran out there watching, I'm sure it's just as hard for you too. Now, Joe had this to say to families this afternoon.
We owe them and their families a debt of gratitude we can never repay, but we should never, ever, ever forget.
The next thing I'm going to show you also weighs pretty heavily on my heart. This is the scene on the streets of Kabul. Hours, not days, not weeks, hours after the last American troops left. What's being described as reports as the Taliban victory parade, with coffins draped with the American flag as well as other countries. They're being paraded around the streets. I can't unsee this, and neither can the families of the fallen or any other veteran that spent their time over in Afghanistan. And we're going to speak to the father of Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover in just a moment, but according to Biden, this August 31st withdrawal was designed to save lives.
Let me be clear. Leaving August the 31st is not due to an arbitrary deadline. It was designed to save American lives.
I want to remind those who might ever consider voting Democrat again, barring like a severe IQ deficiency, why you should never vote for anyone that doesn't put America first, ever. Now, I want you to grab your liberal friends and make them watch this, because in between hitting their local pot dispensary or their next faux outrage social justice campaign, let's give them a reality check. The guy they said was literally Hitler, Trump, versus their golden calf, Joe Biden. You think you ever have it that bad? Consider the fact that the #1 health issue among poor people in this country is having too much to eat, obesity. So spare me if you think you're somehow oppressed here in America. But with that baseline, remember when America was winning Like, I'm seriously, like, when we didn't leave Americans in foreign countries to fend for themselves, that's when America was winning.
We will have so much winning if I get elected that you may get bored with winning.
We used to have victories. We don't have victories. We're going to have so many victories that you're going to be bored of winning. You're going to get so tired of it.
We are going to keep winning at every level. We're going to win so much that you're going to come and you're going to say, Mr. President, we're winning too much. I can't stand it anymore. And I'm going to say, I don't care.
That's a guy that I want. Folks, I've said it before. America can survive a Barack Obama or a Joe Biden or whoever else, but what we cannot survive is an electorate dumb enough to keep electing fools like that. Forgive me for sounding cliche, but we really can, if we want to, we can make America great again still. But it starts with you and I, getting out there and making sure people don't forget how good we have it. If you can go to the store consciously without worrying about a terrorist attack or a roadside bomb, you have it pretty good. I know that's foreign to a lot of people here, but that's a reality. That security, though, it comes at a price. It's not a price paid by people in D.C. It's a price paid by the 13 soldiers who didn't come home alive. They came home under a flag. So when someone tells you they support Democrats, maybe you should just ask them why. Make them articulate it. Seriously. I don't care if it's over Thanksgiving dinner, family reunion, Christmas, whatever. I don't care. It's time to have those arguments because we've let it go too long. 13 Americans came home in boxes. So yes, this is the venue. Because if not now, when? That's the conversation we need to have. And it might get uncomfortable, but imagine how those families of those people that didn't come home, imagine how those families feel. Think they're comfortable? No. And I tell you, the Republican Party, you better wake up. You need to start believing in the messenger as much as the message. I mean, look, there's not a person on this planet that voted for Trump because he was a choir boy, okay? Just not the reality. But let's talk about how star-spangled awesome America was then versus now. Remember under Trump when ISIS became just a faint whisper? It's because he projected American strength, told them if they played stupid games, they would win stupid prizes, and they believed him. He didn't do this by starting another war. I mean, energy independence. We produce more oil than ever before, and we didn't need to rely on OPEC, countries who hate us. This gave us leverage far beyond oil. And you know what? This controlled the cost of everything globally. Not to mention gas was at its lowest price in like a decade. For the first time in 70 years, America exported more oil than it imported. Biden came in, bam, shut down the Keystone pipeline. Now gas is over $4 a gallon in some places. Trump cut taxes for everyone. I know the liberal talking point is, oh, only for the rich. That's patently false. You're wrong. And if you believe that, I can't help you because the average middle class in America paid thousands less in taxes on average. So when you tell me that only benefited the rich, you're dead wrong. And you want to know how I know this? Because I'm very fortunate. My wife and I work extremely hard, and we are in that upper income class. And you know what? I paid a whole lot more in taxes because of the salt deductions were eliminated. Okay? I still think it was a win for America. Trump eliminated 8 regulations for every new one on the books. And you know what happened? Businesses started growing again. Winning. Operation Warp Speed. He opened the doors for the creation of a vaccine in record time. Better trade policies. NAFTA doubled the child care tax credit. Right to try. Got other countries to finally contribute $400 billion to NATO. And the list goes on. Winning. Love him or hate him, Trump was the greatest case study of what happens when you have someone not from politics run a country. And all the media did was talk about how offensive he was. Great job. Crack reporting, guys. Look, if you're a lib watching, instead of taking to Twitter just to whine about your basket weaving degree and how it didn't let you get a job in Trump's economy, come at me, bro. Bring your facts. Bring the receipts. I mean, seriously, what is Biden's greatest accomplishment? What are you going to be known for, Joe Biden? What one single thing do Democrats have going into 22 or 24 that you can hang your hat on and say, man, I'm super glad I voted for Biden? Seriously, name one. I'll wait. I mean, there is nothing. So when you go to the polls next year or 2024, what do you want? Because I want a guy working his tail off every waking minute. Not a guy who can't stay awake through a meeting with our longest and, quite frankly, our only real ally in the Middle East. I mean, you want a guy who was more accessible to the press than any other president, or the guy that can't take a single question? You want a guy who was willing to drop the most powerful non-nuclear explosive in our arsenal to stop terrorists, or the other guy who arms the enemy with 16,000 pairs of night vision goggles? Seriously. How do you want our embassies protected overseas? You want to see that Taliban flag flying over the top of what was our embassy in Afghanistan? I prefer an airstrike against anyone who threatens it, like Trump did. I want the guy who respects our flag. The guy, not someone who takes their cue from people who hate it. That's the man. That right there is the man we voted for, and we got results. We made America great again. So, folks, let's fill it up again.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.